This is the 2009 Spirit Halloween life-size animated all boxed up. I got this recently from a guy that responded to one of my ISO listings. I went on Facebook and made a post in a Halloween group saying I wanted this item, if anybody had it for sale, and luckily he responded and we made a deal. And it took a little bit to ship. I believe it got lost in shipping, but it was found by UPS, and thankfully it came to me today. I got a message late last night saying that it was on its way. So I had almost given up hope on this one, because it was supposed to be here like Monday. So it's been a while. But I paid about $260 for this after shipping, which isn't too bad, considering the only other one for sale was on eBay for like, oh god, it was like $300 or $400, which is crazy. I mean, for what this thing is, for one animation, that's way overpriced, I think. This is made by a company called YJ, and YJ is responsible for making at least like 50% of the most memorable Spirit Halloween life sizes back in the day, especially around like 2008 to 2013. I mean, those were like the golden years for Spirit. Of course, the other percentage I would say is Techie and SVI, but YJ, SVI, and Techie were definitely the main companies for making all of our childhoods. But this guy is in overall decent shape. He's not perfect. I don't think any prop is necessarily perfect, but this one is definitely far from perfect. With YJ props, a lot, if not all of them, are made from latex. Now, with latex, if it's left in a hot area, it will kind of disintegrate and just rot. And unfortunately, this one was a victim of that. As you can see, it's all hardened like packing material or like a thin plastic. Essentially, it's as durable as vacuum form, which is like plastic that you would receive shipments in, so not too good. Fortunately, it's not too bad, so it's not in the front of the face or anything, but there are cracks on the side of it. There's nothing I can do about that. I just hope it doesn't spread. It shouldn't, but I mean, only time will tell. If it does, I'll just probably buy another one of these. Lesson learned, always ask the seller to kind of squish the face. I asked him if it was rotted, and he said it wasn't. I guess he didn't check it before he shipped it out, but he was kind enough to send me a replacement prop as apologies for the condition that this one was in. So I'm really appreciative of that. But yeah, let's just go ahead and run through the phrases of this thing. I like that phrase. This item does come with it did come with the box, and it's actually in pretty decent shape for, I mean, it being that old, and for this item being heavy. I mean, oh my god, this thing is like 16 pounds. It's crazy, but it's not made of anything cheap. I mean that's real metal for the chains, and the entire structure is thick metal. So I mean, it's not, by any means cheaply made. So that's really great. As you can see on the side, it just says all boxed up, life size, talking, shaking. It pretty much says the same thing on the front. And on the back, it's actually, it has more detail in the front, which is kind of ironic. It says, "Get me out of here before they come back to eat me," which you heard is just one of his phrases. And then you can see distributed by Spirit Halloween. And that's the old logo. I absolutely love the old logo. It totally beats the new one. The updated look of it. and the same thing on this side. As you can see, it was sold for $130 in stores back in 2009, and it says YJ boxed in, which is exactly what the tag said. It would have been on this side, the tag. It said all boxed in, which is kind of funny because that's not at all what it says on the box. There's not too much detail on the box. I mean, you know, it's all wooden, but there's nothing, you know, special on the back or anything. You can see this is where the cords come out. This kind of Velcros up, and the Velcro attaches to the top of it. The item itself is about 4 feet tall, I'd say. I didn't really measure, but just looking at it, I'd say it's about 4 feet tall. I mean, it's not by any means small. So it has 2 cords. One of them you can plug a try me button into, which is what I have done, and the other one goes to the ridiculously long cord. YJ is known for their long cords, which is not a complaint at all. I mean, you can see I have it like all the way over here, and there's still some slack over there. You can see it takes 5 volts. But no, the fact that it has such a long cord is great. I love that the that YJ props came with these long cords. I mean, it's got to be at least like 12 feet long, which is absolutely crazy. But yeah, I mean, I'll go ahead and run through the phrase one more time, and that'll be about it for this video. Because there's not too much to say about this one. It's just such a it's a really cool item, I think. So he has about 5 phrases, which is great, especially for YJ, because typically their props only have about 2 or 3 phrases. But I mean, this one, these phrases on him are only like 2 seconds long, so I get why they could put more on, I guess. But this one being a simple hanging prop, I'm glad that they gave it more phrases. This one does have a counterpart that was sold a year later. It's called it's like Crated Mummy, something like that. It's pretty much the exact same thing as this, except the guy is all mummified and wrapped up in bandages, and the box is different. It's a crate, and it says like warning, created mummified remains, something like that. I think the box looks better on that one, but I mean, the guy on this one and the overall phrase is just, I mean, it's definitely superior to the 2010 Crated Mummy. And I'm not saying that one's bad at all. No. I was gonna get either this one or the Crated Mummy, because I think they're both good, but I think the phrases on this one are a lot better. I mean, the ones in the Mummy are they're silly. I mean, they're not really serious or anything. But yeah, I think I pretty much went over everything with this one. Oh yeah, one more thing I wanted to mention. I would typically hear that people had trouble setting up this one. I mean, I didn't find it difficult at all. I can understand where people are coming from, because it is a longer setup. It's definitely a different setup than what any other 2009 one would have been. But it's not necessarily hard. It's just time consuming to set up. And the clothes weren't hard to get on either, or sorry, the box. But, you know, as I said, it's just time consuming, so I understand where people are coming from. And you can see, I mean, the rope is, I mean, this thing's meant to be hung from a tall tree, because it can go like all the way over here, and I just have it wrapped up. And I think it's the same thing with Chin Up Zombie. He has a long rope too, which is another memorable prop by YJ. I love YJ. I mean, their props are so cool. I just wish they weren't made of latex, because it wouldn't be this bad if it was like made by rubber, like what Jemmy did. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I really hope you guys enjoyed. This is the 2009 Spirit Halloween animated, all boxed up, life size. And I will see you guys again next time.